Welcome to the video. My name is Vulcan Frost, and this is Age of Mythology Retold. We're going to continue with the campaign, and in this episode we will complete the 12th mission, Light Sleeper. I'd like to do a little preamble for this episode. So this is one of my favorite missions from the original. It is somewhat unique in that you get this crazy powerful unit called the Guardian, and there are several ways to beat this mission that are what I would call sequence breaks. If you're not familiar with speedrunning terms, that basically means that you are completing it in a way that the developers did not intend, much more quickly than you would have been able to otherwise. Retold did add several new additions to this map that are... I don't know that I would call them easier to sequence break now, but a very good example of that is in the original, if you worship the minor god that gave you the rock, which is a flying transport unit, you wouldn't actually be able to build that unit, because if you did, you would be able to fly that unit directly to the Guardian without actually completing the level. So I'm going to be completing the level as intended. I'm not going to be doing any sequence breaks. I'm not going to be doing any techniques like that. However, I do plan to make a video in the future where we do explore those in greater detail. So let's get started.
The sword of the Guardian, used by Horus to defeat Set once before. Now one of his followers, Kemsit, seeks to take it.
Kemsit? He is your enemy.
He has captured a temple to Osiris near here. There is a Guardian at the temple, but it sleeps. If we return the sword to the Guardian, it will awaken.
It seems the gods have smiled on us.
The Oasis village near here is loyal to the dark god Set. They enslave other local villagers to mine gold for Kemsit.
Alright, so just as Amonra has suggested here, we have this village that is in our way that is going to be hostile to us. This is the sword bearer, or these guys are the sword bearer. It is just one unit. It's kind of unusual. Anyway, so they are carrying the Guardian's sword. And just as soon as it gets revealed on the map, I will show you the Guardian itself. We cannot let these guys die. If they die, we lose the mission. So they're going to go in their own control group, and we are going to put our units on their own control group, and we're going to go and try and liberate these guys working in the mines.
Help us escape our captors!
Actually, that was a spectacularly good example of Amonra's jump technique. So she was able to traverse this cliff that no other unit would have been able to otherwise, and engage these guys and pull aggro from these guys in a place that was advantageous to us. Now, to be fair, I did not actually do that for her. You can tell her where to jump, but that was simply a happy accident. It was an excellent example, though, so I figured I would mention it. Actually, so this guy right here, the jackal-looking guy, is a Anubite, and he also has a similar jump ability that I alluded to in the previous episode. Where do you think you're going?
Please guide us safely home, and we will offer you what help we can.
Okay, so there are lots and lots of villagers here. So we're going to group all these guys together, and we are going to go to their village, which is located down here. Now, this next trek is a bit treacherous, so I'm actually just going to send the heroes, because once we get down here and pick up this relic, which we definitely want because it will give us some gold, there are lots of mummies. These guys do a ton of damage on their own and have that AoE ability that I mentioned in Erebus. And I really don't want to deal with that against all of my units, because we just don't have that many right now, and it is very advantageous to have them to defend against attacks while you're still trying to boom your economy. So let's put these guys on 2. We're going to have them come over here, and then we're going to have these guys kind of clean up the rest of these mummies.
Malista.
Alright, so I think that's going to be it for them.
Malista. Nay.
Okay, that looks good.
Wedge.
I'm going to put these guys on 2, and I'll have these guys on 3.
Into
So we're going to send these guys through.
Into you.
Prostagma.
Looks like there's a couple of crocodiles here.
Leje. Kalos.
They should be pretty easy.
En wedge.
Alright, let's send all of our laborers through, and our sword bearer.
Into you er. EU refer.
Petimos.
I'm gonna
Pani.
have an abundance of caution here, because I think
EU refer.
that when you bring the villagers through here, there's a separate trigger.
Into you. UE
What do you think?
Volume.
Gerrig. EU refer. Into you.
No, no, there isn't. If there is, well, look at that. He got stuck.
Into you. EU refer.
That is ridiculous. How does that even happen?
EU refer. Into you refer.
Man.
Proceshe.
Okay, well, we just lost one of our units doing that. Whatever.
Leje.
But we are at the
Malista.
village.
Into you.
Man, that is frustrating.
Prostagma.
I should at them on Twitter. Be like, hey, at Age of Mythology, fix this shit.
Pani.
Look, our men have returned.
Nay.
Thank you, strangers. Kemsit forced us from our home, the sacred city of the Guardian. We will join you to defeat him.
All right, so now we actually have a real Egyptian base to work with
Kemsit's
here.
army is returning to the city. Only the neighboring villages stand in his way.
So, now that we've saved all of these men from working the mines until they die, they're going to come over here and work my mines until they die. It's a much better situation, I promise.
Leje. Pani.
Oh, I like priests, so we're going to build, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them here. And yeah, we're definitely going to get the upgrade for them as well. I need to remember to drop off this relic that Amonra has. And I'm going to put this catapult in the back over here because we don't need him quite yet. In fact, he can go and hang out with the sword bearer. But what we do need to do is, let's see, we have, what, 2 on wood? I'm probably going to want 4 on wood. We've got 9 on gold right now, which is going to be our primary resource. Oh, and here is one of the fun mechanics. So this is Kemsit's army. This guy is going to come down here and destroy these villages. There's 1, 2, and 3 villages to destroy. By the time that he gets here, if we have not defeated him, that is a game over. So, what we need to do is, we need to get the sword to this guy here. And this is the Guardian, and he is kick-ass. If you notice, he has 20,000 hit points. And he has 95% reduced damage on Crush, Pierce, and Hack, which is all the damage types, except for Pure. He also has 2,000 Crush damage and 700 Hack damage. That is ridiculous. And this guy is fast, he does AoE, he's really, really good. So, we're going to need him to defeat Kemsit's army.
Enito, you refer.
In the traditional way to play this map. There are ways to play this where you don't actually need him. He is the win condition, though, so if you do actually want to win during your speed run, you will need to actually go and oh, look at that. Okay, so this is new. This is new. This must be part of the patch. So if you notice down here on my build menu here, let me place some of these houses while I'm thinking about it. There's now a little age indicator on the buildings here. Previously, they were simply not populated. They didn't show an icon on the build menu, but now they do. That's interesting. Okay, so we have a bunch of villagers here, so let's have 2 of them come over here to wood, because we do need wood, it's just less important. We already have a temple, so we can upgrade to
in which kids he need to kids.
We can upgrade to the classic age here in just a second. I'm actually going to stop villager production so that we can do that. So we have Bast and Ta. So her focus is labor and his is technology. In this case, I think we're going to go with Ta here because he gets more upgrades in the armory to our basic soldiers, which is going to be our primary force for this mission. Alright, so it looks like Kemsit has thoroughly destroyed the first village. What we will need to do, though, is queue up some upgrades here. He's going to continue to build those houses. Just as soon as we're in the next age, we're going to need to build a couple of barracks, and we'll probably build yet another monument. So the monuments are what generate favor. You can build up to 5 of them, and each of the major gods gives a different bonus to your monuments. We are worshiping Isis right now, who is our primary major god. So the area of effect gives... let's use the Pharaoh to attack this guy. Pharaohs are very good against Smith units. Actually, it looks like he's not doing that. In fact, he's getting his ass kicked. What the hell? All right, well, there goes our Pharaoh. Ooh, but that's another good way to illustrate yet another mechanic that is not explained anywhere. And that is the Pharaoh will resurrect here at the town center under a different name. And each time that you have a new Pharaoh resurrect, he will have a new name, which is kind of funny because in Egyptian mythology, the idea was that the Pharaoh is simply the same guy living again and again and again. So they kind of perpetuate that here, which I think is cool. Actually, we have some fish over here, so let's build some fishing ships and kind of take advantage of that. I like the Wadjets, so I'm going to build a couple more of them. And we're going to get these other farming upgrades queued up. We're going to have this queued and this queued for once we actually get into the third age. I don't think that we're going to need crenellation, so I'm not going to research that right away. What we will need, though, is the extra population space. So I'm actually going to grab one of these guys that are mining gold right now and have them build a couple of barracks right next to each other instead of grabbing this guy. And I'm going to have him instead do a monument to the soldiers here. So, like I was saying with Isis, her benefit to our monuments is that they provide a shield. In that area of effect, the god powers cannot be used. Enemy god powers cannot be used. So if they had, for instance, a meteor, they would not be able to drop it on my base, which is super nice. And if you notice, looky here, we have our new Pharaoh, and he is the second. So they just added an addendum to his name, which is kind of funny. So this is going quite well. We have built all of our houses, I believe. Yes, we are up on our houses. I don't remember getting so many towers, but that's actually pretty nice. Gives a little bit of extra protection. I don't like how forward our gold is. I kind of wish it was back here, but whatever. It'll be all right. Okay, so we need to age up as soon as possible because the heroic age is going to allow us to build these, which are Migdal strongholds, which have the best units for Egypt. Their barracks units are very okay. They are pretty weak. They're cheap, though, which is nice, so you're able to mass them pretty well. And in fact, I'm going to get all of these upgrades. I'm going to put them all in queue. Or in queue, rather. Man, they really made these anti-bites strong. Look at that. I really like how they rebalanced a lot of the myth units. In the original, there were several myth units that were just... they were not very good. And that was to put it very generously. Actually, Egypt had a lot of very early myth units that were just terrible. Anti-bite was one of them. They did not do a lot of damage compared to what they cost. But now it seems like they kick ass. Okay, so we've built that. let's go and age up. So, building camel units, ranged weapons, and siege weapons. So, what are your actual upgrades? So, chariot archers, improving their range. Okay. Slingers. So, that's going to give our... Oh, that's curious. So, we can build catapults early with her. I don't actually know how to pronounce her name. Okay, yeah, we are going to go... So normally I go with this guy, right? Because he gives you the laser crocodiles. They're basically a mythological unit that is a giant crocodile that has like a lens or like a mirror on their head, which concentrates light. And yeah, they're pretty good. They've got a long range. But in this case, I think I'm actually going to go for her because I want the additional siege from those strongholds that I was talking about previously. So you can go back to collecting gold, and you can go to farming. Yeah, I'm going to set this to make some more villagers, and we're actually going to set our fishing ships to go do something. I believe there's one more over here. There it is. Alright, so they have not gotten to the second village yet, which is good. That means we still have time. So, although we can't see it, there's an incredibly large force here. So, let's see. Target your own or allied units, then target a location. Okay, so... I'm going to use this rain god power. So, this is pretty cool. This actually affects everyone on the map, not just you. And it makes your farms produce faster. It used to be that it made even your wood go faster, which was a bug from the original that never did get patched. I'm going to put the rest of these upgrades on Q here. I'm actually going to build a couple more priests. Okay, so this is our myth unit for this era, the Scarab. This is basically an armored siege unit. So it's got very high pierce armor, so 75%, and very high crush armor at 80%. And it does 55 crush damage, so it will be very, very good at taking down their strongholds and their gates. Alright, so let's build a few of these. So not only are these unit-producing structures, but they also act as the fortress or castle if you are familiar with Age of Mythology, or excuse me, Age of Empires terms. So I'm going to build a few of these like this. What are you doing? I'm going to have a few people come over here for this, and just like in the cinematic that we watched in the previous episode, I'm going to have the Pharaoh come over here and empower this. So I need to make sure that all of our priests are focusing their myth units. Alright, I don't want to build too many villagers because we're going to need a lot of soldiers.
Greek, are you refer? UIR. Tayo.
Yeah, these snakes are really annoying. They're not terribly dangerous, but they are quite annoying. What I don't want is our Scarab to be fighting in our main force over here. I kind of want to hide him away. They are a little expensive. Yeah, 300 food and 18 favor is a tad much. So after we get these three built, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to have some more units built to gather gold, because we're going to need a ton of it, because these guys cost a lot. So 70 for a camel raider, 70 for a war elephant, and 40 for a chariot archer, in addition to their other costs. What I will do is I will demonstrate what I was talking about earlier, and have a priest go over here and empower this. Now, the priests are not as good as the Pharaoh when it comes to empowering. So that's why I've got him over here kind of empowering these buildings to be built a little quicker. I believe it's like 50 or 25% of what he can do. Okay, so now we've got 3 of these guys, which should be plenty. We're going to have the rest of them come over here to gather gold. And I'm actually going to pull him off of there because the Pharaoh can go and empower this. Alright. How many people is that now? What, 17?
Which buyer?
18, right? Once this guy gets over here. No, just 17. Okay. That's probably enough. We've got 17 on food here, 4 on wood, and 17 on gold. Oh, but what we do need to do is actually finish building the rest of our monuments. I guess it doesn't really matter where they go. And I guess I will arbitrarily use our god power here to make this town center into a citadel. The citadel is just a significantly stronger town center. And I'm going to research this because it gives us an additional 10 pop cap per town center. And normally, if we were in a multiplayer match, it would be a good idea to kind of spread these out, but here it doesn't matter all that much. All right, so let's get these guys going. I'm going to put this on, I guess, on 1. We're going to reset all of our hotkeys here. Okay, so these guys are just starting in the second village. Man, they have a lot of myth units. I'm going to make even more priests to fight these myth units that are coming out. And I'm going to build... Honestly, I need all of these upgrades. I'm going to kind of spread these out. Can we upgrade to... No, we can't go up to age 4. That's okay.
What
What I will do is I'm going to... I guess we need all of these as well.
And which Greek UIR.
You guys can go on 2. And you can go on 3. Alright, what do we got you guys standing around for? Okay, I guess we don't have enough gold for that. Oh, and if you notice here, our golds are just about to run out. Yeah, we've got less than 1,000 on both. But if we actually go back here into the beginning, we actually gained control of both of these mining camps, and these are both almost full. So this is 12,000, this is 12,000, that's 24,000 gold that is available to us. So we're definitely going to go and mine that once we mine out these resources. There's another one over here, but it's kind of forward, and it's kind of a dangerous mine because of that. So I'm going to avoid it. Now what we're going to do is kind of do something fun, and we're just going to build equal units here until we can't build them anymore. So I've kind of just rode on Q, W, and E to have these guys be built. And we're just going to keep doing that until we can't build anymore. And in fact, what we could do is put auto Q for each of these. Actually, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So one of them will produce our heavy chariot archers, one of them will produce our heavy camel riders, and the last will produce our heavy war elephants. And if you notice, the war elephants are actually what Kempsit are using. Well, I guess we just lost line of sight for the second village. Okay, so we are, as you can see, running out of time. Okay, so these guys are done, so we're going to send them over here to mine from back here, which is very safe. So we are at 182 pop here. This should be a big enough army for us to continue. So let's do that. The plan is incredibly simple. We are going to knock down a wall here, in this wall here, and then we're going to have the sword bearer back here. Oops, I forgot to bring up my catapult as well. That will definitely be helpful. And we're going to have that come up and kind of rush him through. And it looks like we are getting ambushed from the back because they had a regular wave come out. I think our ranged units should be able to clean these guys up. I think, without too many casualties. Alright, so now we have our forces split. I really don't want this. Alright, so the... Whoa, hello. Yeah, we definitely don't want to lose the sword bearer. And the Scorpion Man does a ton of damage, so... Alright, hopefully his... Yeah, let's set these guys to heal him. Meanwhile, these guys are going to come up here and clean up the rest of these guys. Wow, this is a total shit show. Alright, let's set these guys up here. Actually, you can start attacking this tower. And actually, the Scarab can as well. The rest of you can come up here. What I don't want is tower damage taking down my sword bearer here. I'm going to send my Scarab and maybe one elephant to go and attack over here. I'm going to use my priests to attack some of these. Well, I would if I could select them. These myth units. Alright. This is not going super well. Alright, there goes the Scarab. And I need my catapult to come over here to attack the stronghold. And I'm going to try and sneak my sword bearer in here.
Protect the sword bearers.
Let's see if this is going to work. Because all we need to do is get them up close.
A hero has fallen.
Come on, attack the gate.
A hero has
Alright.
fallen.
So long as we can body block. Come on, let's go. And, oh, fantastic. We have a Guardian now. So now we basically just don't have to worry about units. This guy does so much damage. And yeah, he's one-shots their stronghold over here. And he does lightning attacks too. So basically we have one now, but we get to gloat a little bit by taking down Kemsit's army. I'm going to take down these buildings just because they're going to keep producing. These guys are really annoying. But what we can do is send our handy-dandy Guardian down this way. Go see if we can... Oh, hello.
This statue thing better swing a mean sword, that's all I have to say.
Alright, looks like there's already additional units from Kemsit here. But yeah, I mean, just look at this. Yeah. He does crazy AoE damage. Oh, okay, so they just went straight through the third village, so we just saved them. Look at this. Oh, yes. He's super OP. I believe that is the last of Kemsit's forces. That means we are victorious. So, if you, as you might have guessed, the Guardian is incredibly OP. And this kind of opens up several plot holes as to why don't we just use the Guardian all the time? Because we have him. They actually address that later, and I'm going to let Ajax talk about that. It might be in the next episode. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Be on the lookout for more Age of Mythology episodes, and you can catch me live on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, and Sundays, 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to follow my Twitter for video and stream updates. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.